Hey guys, I'm back with another video on the Fluval Evo 13.5. So today in this video, I'm just going to call it a mini update. That's what it's, I think I've got in the title. I haven't got an intro today. The video is a little bit different, I know. I'm kind of doing a voiceover. I'll explain in the next video because I've got, I don't want the video being super long, me explaining loads of boring stuff. So I'm going to go through a few things in this video. First I'm going to start with the pulse scroll. You may have noticed that that's a bit different. I'll go through that first. Number 2 will be the little piece of rock in the corner, and then the Duncan, which I'm going to show you how I feed that. So yeah, starting off with the pulse scroll, I'm going to give you a little bit of a close view. So here you can see that it's a little bit smaller, like 20% smaller. I did take 3 frags off of it, and I put it onto 3 little pieces of Biohome Ultra, which is the same kind of biological media that I've got in my system. So I'm just showing you around the rocks. I didn't want it spreading around the rock and stinging by that pulse crawl. No, I didn't want my pulse crawl stung by the Duncan, because LPS do have stingers. So yeah, around that kind of area in the middle I cut, and then I cut little bits around the edges which were attaching around the rock, and it was just getting way too big. Yeah, the frags didn't really make it. They were kind of, the elastic band that I put it on, kind of just cut through the like the pulse crawl, because it's got a soft skeleton. It kind of it just saws through it slowly. So what I've done now is I've put little pieces of Biohome Ultra like around the pulse crawl, so that will so when a little bit of pulse crawl attaches onto it, it should mould onto there. And here's the other side. You see a little piece of Biohome I'm pointing at now is hopefully when a little piece of pulse goes onto it, I'll sell it for like a 10 or a frag. Was this particular type of pulse scroll is quite rare. It's not popular, but it's not super rare either. But yeah, it's a really nice piece of pulse scroll, and I'm happy I trimmed it. But it will grow back in next few days, or well, not a few days, but a couple of in less than a month, it will be the same size as what it was. So yeah, that's the pulse scroll. And moving on to that little white rock that's in the corner of my tank. So yeah, here we go. This rock I got from All Things Aquatic. I got it about a week ago. No, 6 days ago. So I know it looks white. Well, it is white. And it's eventually it will get covered in coralline in the next few months. So you won't even notice that it's white. It will be all pinky purple. But yeah, that corner was just very bare, and I couldn't really stand like a really bare corner of a tank. It was just a bit weird and, annoying. So I decided to just chuck that piece of rock in there, which I'm very happy about. It was actually a really cheap rock as well. It was about £3, if that. Really cheap. So this little, you see the bridge kind of area is a little bit changed. That Zoa is the green one is a little bit in a different position. The Zoa, other one, is puttied onto the side now. I don't know if I had that in the last video, but yeah. Yeah, now moving on to the Duncan coral, which I'm going to show you how I feed that, and just yeah, go through a few bits and pieces that I do with it. So there's the Duncan there, doing really great. There's a little close shot up of it. You may notice my voice is a bit funny or something. I'm doing a voiceover, so this is my first video doing it, so I don't expect this video getting many likes or anything, because yeah, it's not best of quality, but I try my best. I just want to try to say a little bit different with the videos. So this is what I'm doing. I'm putting a little bit of so I've filled it up with water. I don't know how much mils in there, but there's a decent amount of bit in there. So now I'm putting food in. It's kind of container I keep it in, and I actually feed my Duncan the same food I feed my fish. New Life Spectrum probiotics. So I sprinkle it in there, kind of mix it around with the kind of turkey baster. I kind of mix around, make sure it. I did get loads of salt water all over the table, but it's the kind of wood that it doesn't absorb water. It's kind of funny, I don't know. But I did clean it up a couple of minutes later, like after the video. So it didn't, like, just in case. I didn't want loads of salt all over my thing. So I used that to that kind of thing to absorb all of the spectrum pellets, and I just put it over there. I've got some of the flow off, that's why it's kind of going over to the side, and the fish are getting it, which is great. So I'm just turning the flow off now. So yeah, you can see little pieces of spectrum pellets go into that Duncan coral, and yeah, so you can see the Duncan coral starts to close up, and yeah, it does that because it has a kind of little dot in the middle of it, of the big, it's an LPS, so L is for large polyp, well, LPS, large polyp, and stony base, so stony skeleton, and it's got a large big polyp. In the centre of that polyp is a little kind of dot, that mouth opens up, lets all the food go in, and then it kind of slowly, not really chews on it, but kind of absorbs it, I guess. But it does eat it. It's really fascinating to watch, actually. In a minute, well, in a few seconds or so, I will show you a little clip of it opening up, like really fast, in like kind of a fast mode. So I do feed. I don't overfeed. I do this every like 2 or 3 days. Yeah, I've left it about 3 days. Because I don't want to overdo it. But if it didn't want to eat, then it would just spill them out. It would just like kind of spit them out, I guess. But it's just absorbing them right now, which is great. So it definitely wants to eat. So every 2 days, just do this, and it's really nutritious. You can't give this coral any more nutrition. You just can't. It's possible, but there's no other food out there that's better than what I'm feeding. Same with the fish. You can see there, clownfish is bright orange, really nice health. And they're they kind of flickery at the moment because I've got the camera out. They don't really like that. So at the moment you can see the Duncan coral is starting to kind of close up a little bit. It's not shooting in, it's just a way of it eating the pellets. It's what it does all the time. It's natural. So here's a fast version of it opening up. You can see in the background there's like stuff happening really fast. It's because I've got it in a fast mode. So now you can see it open up and just how it does it. So I'm going to give you like a minute or something in silence to watch that, because it's actually really fascinating. Okay, so here you can see the Duncan isn't fully open. I am going to show you what it did end up. So this is fully open with not all the flow on. I kept on gentle flows. You've got to make sure when you're feeding this, keep all the flow for the next 10 to 15 minutes to make sure it doesn't want to be disturbed when it's eating. Because you won't have a happy coral then. I am starting to get loads of new heads around the rim of it. You can't really see the heads. You can kind of just see little lumps. Just around the kind of just around, it's kind of hard to explain. It's around the kind of the branch of it, the stony bit. It starts seeing little heads come out of there. There's like 4 around it. So in the next month, you should start seeing some like pretty big heads. So I am feeding the fish at the moment. You can see at the top there's loads of feed up there. So that's great. So I fed the fish at the same time. I feed them twice a day, which is nice and healthy. So yeah, I think that'll do it for this video. I know it might have been a bit funny, a bit different. But yeah, I did want to just try something different. So yeah, you'll see me next week with maybe a new coral. I'm starting to look at some LPS So yeah, bye.